That's good stuff. All right. On today's episode of By the Wayside, upcyclist artist Heather Castles is here with me today. And also author David Lloyd is here. We're going to have a great discussion about sharks, so you're not going to want to miss that. Did I say not going to want to miss that? I think I said not going to want to miss that. And I'm almost 100% sure we're going to be doing an Omar Recommends because we're here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails. And if you're not recommending something, what's the point? And, stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. Oh, yeah. Belt time, baby. Whose belt is this again? This is the
That's the Andre the Giant belt. Bigger forehead.
World Wrestling Federation. Nope, it's not Federation. It's WWE. Okay. Here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails, I am lucky enough that I get to wear this belt that was once worn by Andre the Giant because it is a world championship. Doesn't matter. It is an amazing belt that Andre the Giant once wore. And I wanted to start the show. Look at this belt. It's friggin' awesome. I don't know if I could just hi, I'm Jordan and I'm walking across Main Street, Ontario. I don't know. All of a sudden, I forgot the name of the town I'm in. Main Street, Newmarket. I'm just going to walk right down the middle. I'm going to walk and be like, I'm the new sheriff in this town. Boo! Look at this belt. Boo! I'm going to be like, I'm Jordan, the host of By the Wayside. Are you looking for comic books? Well, I'm Kermit the Frog or whatever. I don't know. But this is so cool that I get to wear this belt. This is an actual belt. It's not a prop. It's not a replica. It is the belt. And if you want to see this belt, no, I'm just kidding. If you want to see this belt, I heard through the grapevine that it is here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails. It's awesome. It is awesome. Tell him I sent you, and you can try it on. And if Omar says no, then that's too bad. I'm going to put it right here, right there. There, now we always know, when you're watching this episode, now you always know that belt is there. Starting off the show, hope you liked the new opening. It's super awesome. Stephen Parker, thank you again. Chef's kiss. A million times chef's kiss. But let's talk about because in this opening section, I get to talk about whatever I want. That's the beauty of the show. By the Wayside, we connect you to creativity. And I'm a creative person, right? Sometimes I like to think I'm a creative person. And back in 2009, I had this idea where, I'm gonna be the biggest actor on the planet. I'm gonna make these shorts, these 40-second shorts, where I'm gonna write 40-second shorts about these two guys and they're being fun. It's the Awesome Canadian Action Duo. And I have a clip for you of one of them from 2009. I was 29. Yeah, I was 29. And so here it is here. Watch it. It's very quick.
Hey, Chris. Found your video camera. Back here the whole time. Were you hiding it on me? Chris, let's go make videos. Videos about swords. It'll be awesome. Chris? Yeah. Come on, Chris. You listen to me? Are you deaf? What are you reading? Comics.
I don't make videos.
That's not what your wife said. Awesome.
I know that, I don't know. I thought it was very funny. It's very authentic. It is what it is. You like my creativity. You don't. My acting is the best on the planet. I have to admit, I'm the greatest actor on the planet. Omar laughed back there. You can't hear it because he's not mic'd up. So I have acted in a commercial before for roofer.com. I wonder if I could find that somewhere. If I find it in the middle of editing this show and stuff, I'll put it up there too. You can watch that. Okay, so super quick opening because I wanted to talk about peanut butter as a replacement for a meal. Now, I know it has nothing to do with creativity. It has nothing to do with the comic shop here. Wayside Comics has nothing to do with that. years and years and years ago, I was like, I need to lose some weight. I have to lose some weight. It was just one of those things, right? So I went on like one of those point counting systems. So a little bit, like an egg is 3 points or a salad is 5 points. Like you get a little allotment of points throughout the day. But what I did find was that a tablespoon of peanut butter was like 5 points, maybe. It's been so long, I don't remember. But what I was doing was instead of having breakfast, I would just take a big old scoop of peanut butter and I would get my protein, maybe. This is what I told myself. My protein, my sugars, my fats, and that was my life. As every day I'd have like a scoop of peanut butter and then I'd come home from work and be like, oh, I wouldn't eat lunch because I'm trying to lose weight, like poorly. Like it's like I'm not a professional weight loss person here. So what? So what this is, what I wanted to ask is, can peanut butter be used as a meal alternative? Now, I'm not a professional. I think that's we're all quite aware. I'm not a professional of anything, but it's not. And if you know anything about Zardip's search for health and wellness, it's not. Peanut butter on bread is good. Peanut butter by itself, you know what? I'm putting the belt back on. The reason I'm putting the belt back on is because when I tell you this, I want to feel like a champion. I want to feel like a champ. And I'm going to tell you straight up. And then after this, I'm going to go find Omar Sayer. He's the owner here of Wayside Comics and Cocktails. He's hiding. He's hiding because he sees me putting the belt on. He's not hiding. He could care less. I'm going to go elbow drop and I'm going to tell him, I'm going to say, Omar, you can have peanut butter as a replacement meal. Why? Because I said so. Now I'm going to take the belt off, put the belt back here, and I'm going to bring my chair back, and I'm going to say, came out of hiding immediately after I sat down. Stick around because this episode of By the Wayside is packed with some really, really fun things. Don't go anywhere. I was holding this card upside down. There we go. Don't go anywhere, and don't forget to check out my awesome By the Wayside mug. It finally happened, folks. Finally happened. I'm trying a new way this time. So usually I have it flipped over so I can see everything.
Right, yeah.
So I'm trying the back camera to see how it works for you. So you're the guinea pig. So as you can see, I of course said Heather was my guinea pig, and then ruined it. I ruined the whole thing.
We're in a new spot.
With me, no, I'm with her today in Heather Castle's home studio, where it's on the wall right there. I don't even have to look at my card. Upcycled vintage art. Fine artist, Heather Castles. I'm with fine artist, Heather Castles, who upcycles vintage art. Heather, thank you for allowing me in your home, making up for my mistake on the show. So let's just start off right off the bat. Can you explain what vintage upcycling art is, like in what you do?
So I take daggy old damaged pieces of artwork and give them a second life. So I repair them and clean them and give them another go. And I add elements of pop culture or fun things into it, giant ladybugs and things like that, just to give them a bit of fun and relevance. That way you don't feel like you've got a bit of dated art or what. It just gives them another life and a bit more fun.
So when we talk about pop culture, like you adding elements of pop culture to the artwork, I'm sitting in your home studio and it's really cool because I've seen your work online. When we originally recorded this, you brought a piece, and you were nice enough to set it out for me here. So I'm gonna pull it out here. The AT-AT Walker in this forest setting.
Mm-hmm.
So why add elements of pop culture to art?
Well, it kind of goes back like to artists always paint what's around them and what they see and document history. And for me, like in our current culture, we love to watch movies and play video games and all that. That's such a big part of our culture, but it's not in our real life, like day-to-day life. Like you don't walk down the street and see a walker going by. But it's kind of fun to think that, this painting was done in the 70s when this movie came out. So just it's kind of like it's tying it into a point in history, like saying this is kind of part of our culture right now, and it's kind of gives it a bit of a relevance or almost validates it as part of art history.
Wow, it's interesting that you say that it adds a relevance to art history, because the juxtapositioning of serene and sci-fi, like, I mean, it's not Endor, but it could be Endor.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it by taking subtle pop culture references and adding them to like a larger landscape, while the AT-AT Walker is central to the piece itself. And I'll be honest, of all your pieces, this is my favorite one.
Good.
I really like this one. It's like a wildlife photographer captured a moment in time, and having this on your wall, someone's like, "Oh, this is gorgeous," and they go, "Oh, wait a second. There's like a giant walker there." Like, it's really cool that the subtleness of the additions to the pop culture that you add to the pieces is really great. It's really fun to see. And so, out of all the pop culture pieces and elements that you add, is there one pop culture element that you want to add?
I would really love to do the Muppets.
The Muppets.
The Muppets, I love. I've got all the little Lego figures that came out a couple of years ago, and I've got them lined up ready to go, and little old gold frames for their portraits. I'd love to kind of do them and kind of immortalize them with their little portraits. So
Well, I know that this is the second time we're doing this interview. I know that there was an issue the first time.
Yes.
I thank you again for allowing me to come into your home studio to talk to you again. We're literally, the first one was a rehearsal. This is the real deal.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm going to ask again your favorite Muppet.
My favorite Muppet is hands down Kermit.
It is Kermit.
It is Kermit.
Now, we talked about, so behind us, I saw it somewhere over there.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, with the camera,
It's
eventually
tiny.
we'll get there eventually. Maybe I'll take a video. I'll get a little closer. Kermit is with his banjo in the swamp.
Yep.
And I asked this before. It feels like I'm just like asking the
that's
same
all
questions
right.
over and over again. But do you picture him singing Rainbow Connection?
It has to be that one, because it's as a kid, that's how I heard it and that's how I picture it. And so it's that little painting. It was just a log in a bog needed a frog. So
Well, the first Muppet movie starts that exact same way, right? It's just you hear him, plinking away, and then he's like, Rainbow Connection.
Yes.
I practiced my Kermit voice before I
Yes.
came in. I know that I have to say the phrase that triggers the phrase, the hi ho, Kermit the Frog here, to get the voice. And then Rainbow Connection.
Yes.
Then that was my Kermit voice.
Now, because it's the second time, are you prepared to do the rest of the questions in your Kermit voice? Have you practiced?
No, not at all. It takes so much effort to do the voice. I have to close your throat. You have to put your tongue in a certain spot. And it's so tough to do. So now I'm going to drink more water. Heather, the Kermit piece, I had asked your favorite Muppet. We talked about the Kermit on the Swamp. What's your favorite piece you've done?
I think it would be still that one.
It's the same one?
It is the same one. It's awful answering questions the same one, but it is it's a little tiny painting, and my daughter came in the room and we just kind of introduced them to the Muppets, because it's not a big thing for, Muppets Most Wanted is our family's favorite go-to movie. We watched that one before we watched the other one, and I'm like, music's epic. But anyway, she came in and saw it, and she's like, "Oh, it's Kermit!" And then she went really quiet. It's like, "Mom, can we keep that one?" So I'm like, "Yeah." So, but it feels, kind of captures my family a bit and how we feel about Kermit.
The Muppets Most Wanted is not my favorite. It's one of my least favorite.
That's all right.
But the one joke, or when he goes Kermit, we do that at the house all the time, all the time. But the joke with Sam the Eagle and it's the actor that plays Phil Dunphy. His name is losing me. But the badge joke, where they keep bringing in the badges, that kills me every single time. But Muppets from Space is my favorite Muppets
my goodness.
movie.
You did ask what I wanted to paint, and I have been grabbing reference for pigs in space, because I love spaceships. I love sci-fi. I'm like, I'd love to do a pigs in space ship in something. So
that's pretty cool, especially because it fits in with the Star Wars and Star Trek theme of your work. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I can't think of? What did they have a ship?
They did, and it looks a little bit like a pig.
Okay, I'm gonna have to Google what it looks like. Yeah. Heather, again, thank you very much for allowing me to come into your home, and I'm gonna walk through your gallery here and take a look. And I know that there's pieces elsewhere in the house, and I'm definitely gonna take a look at that. But where can we find you online?
I'm at upcycledvintageart.com.
Now, all of your pieces that you can find online, they're available like for sale, like for print?
Yep,
prints
yep,
are
and
available?
downloads, because I mean, sometimes you want to put it on a mug or print it small or big or whatever, so it makes it easy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So the artwork is great. The functionality of the website is easy to use, and your artwork is accessible in many ways. I appreciate appreciate you letting me come into your home and redoing the interview that I screwed up before. So stick around because, of course, we have lots more coming up on this episode of By the Wayside. Welcome back to By the Wayside. I, of course, am your host, Jordan Middlebrook, and with me today, author, screenwriter, producer, and director. There's a big list of accomplishments. My next guest, David Lloyd, does it all. David, thank you very much for coming in and sitting with me today.
My pleasure.
Awesome. I know that right now, when we're recording this episode, it is a gorgeous day.
Yes.
So having you inside for the segment it's very akin to just me being an evil person. So I really do thank you again for coming in today. Speaking about evil, no, I'm just kidding. On your website, you say that, I want to make sure that every writer needs their own shark trilogy. My question is why?
Good question. I sort of fell into that. There's a filmmaker in Ottawa by the name of Brett Kelly that I've written a few scripts for. And he wanted to do a shark movie.
Okay.
So you're shooting a shark movie in Ottawa. Let's start with that.
All the oceans in Ottawa. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and wrote that for him very quickly, mind you. It was kind of, okay, we're going to start shooting soon because, it gets cold in Ottawa and girls in bikinis in the water, you want nice temperature. Anyway, so we wrote that. I wrote that, and it struck hard. It came on the tails of the whole Sharknado.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Perfect timing.
Just perfect timing.
Yeah.
Right after that. And then Brett pitched another idea to a distributor, a sequel to that.
Nice.
With the great title of Raiders of the Lost Shark.
I'm on board, 100%.
And when it was agreed to, we realized, oh no, I got to now shoot this. So he called me up and just did another script. And then he decided he wanted to do one more shark movie.
Perfect.
Ouija Shark.
Oh, you're killing me with these titles. They're amazing.
Great titles.
Amazing.
Yeah. And there we go. All of a sudden, I wrote 3 shark movies.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
If there was a legacy, if I was to die right now on camera,
my CPR is a little rusty, so
okay. So I know that. Oh my, how's your CPR?
Yeah, good.
Okay, no, I can't die here. I'll die on the front porch here, or on the sidewalk. Sorry, not the porch. This isn't a house. If I were to die right here, my one big regret is that I don't have a shark trilogy. I'll be honest with you, sharks are one of the coolest animals.
Yeah, true.
I remember at one time I was speaking with a comic creator, and I said, there needs to be shark people in this comic book. That's not even a word of a lie. I'm not even acting in any way, shape, or form. So I am 100% on board with a shark trilogy, a shark quadrilogy.
More shark movies.
More sharks.
Yeah.
All the time. All sharks all the time.
Yeah.
But no, aside from screenwriting, you also write novels.
Yes.
And your book, Cross the Line.
Yes.
Was there a piece of pop culture or an event that helped inspire your book?
Yeah. Actually, before you even asked that question, I was thinking about that this morning. In the 80s, I grew up reading a lot of what you would call men adventure stories, the Mac Bolan and all that. And just for fun, but my leanings are a little more toward the left than those books tend to be. And I thought, I kind of want to write something like that, but from more of the left-leaning, more LGBTQ-friendly antagonist.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's sort of meshing two styles or genres that generally just don't happen together.
Okay.
And that's where the whole Germany idea came from. And there's a market there.
It makes sense because yeah, the '80s was a tough time. Now, I mean, I was ages 0 to 10, so I have no.
Yeah,
Thundercats.
I was there.
Yeah. Okay. So Thundercats was on. He-Man was on. Now, as I'm saying this, I realize that it is a very masculine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it 100%. There was, as you say, there was a lean that just didn't exist.
Yes.
And so that's awesome. I really like that. I really appreciate that, especially in today's climate where everyone's welcome. Everyone should be welcome.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, 100%. I'm on board 100%. I know that you've tackled movies,
Mhm.
you've tackled prose novels.
Mhm.
You want to go forward and you want to do bigger, more amazing things.
Mhm.
Not just amazing, just more
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
What is one pop culture character, or I guess character, would you like to tackle? Any medium.
Whew. That is good.
It's tough, because
Yeah.
when you look at the mediums
Yeah.
themselves, you think, let's use comic books for
Yeah.
instance. There's multiple different companies that have
Mhm.
multiple different amazing characters. You look at books,
Yeah.
you think, my first go-to, funny enough, is James Bond. I didn't even think about the movies for a second. I was just like, I
Yeah.
want to write a James Bond novel.
Yeah.
Or, and when I say every medium, TV,
Yeah.
cartoons, anything. What
Yeah.
you can even answer this in a two-parter.
I would have to say Star Trek. I grew up with the original Trek.
Yeah.
Watching it as a kid during the 70s.
And I just told you that I was 0 to 10 in the 80s. Okay. Don't feel so bad. Don't feel so bad.
But yeah, I grew up with that, and I've been a Star Trek fan since then. Day one practically. And I think that would be something I'd like to tackle. Yeah.
Okay, so let's two-part this question.
Okay.
You want to tackle a Star Trek. You want to write some Star Trek.
Mhm.
Who's your favorite Star Trek character, starting from the original all the way to current times, keeping in mind
Mhm.
that the last couple iterations, like Enterprise, something else, I don't know.
Okay.
So I can tell you some from Deep Space Nine, the original, and the Next Generation.
Yeah. I can't narrow that down. I even at its worst, there's still something positive about each show.
That's the beauty of being a fan too,
Yeah.
right? Even though it sucks, you're still a fan. You
Absolutely.
you as a fan watch it and go like, this is truly garbage, but man, oh man, I love where this is going.
Yeah, and I'm going to watch again next week.
Oh.
Yeah. I really, I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Star Trek fan. I'm like a peripheral Star Trek fan. I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
And if you were to ask me my favorite Star Trek character oh my goodness,
Star Wars,
I should just leave. I'm intermitting all this Star things. If you were to ask me my favorite Star Wars character, I wouldn't be able to honestly narrow it down. One of the and I like the ones I like. Kylo Ren is really one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But in 2 weeks it could be all of a sudden Chewbacca. I like them all, so I get it.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Star Wars, I am a big fan of Rey, despite the crap the character and the actress has received. I love that character.
Well, that's just terrible gatekeeping.
Yeah. Yes, very much, very much.
So okay, we have maybe just a few minutes left in the segment. I want to ask one more question. So who would win in a fight? No powers, no nothing. James T. Kirk or Luke Skywalker? Now this is no powers.
No powers.
Only one of them has powers. So who would win in a fight?
Kirk. You can't beat the Kirk foo.
Yeah. I think I'm not going to show this episode online. You can't say that. Where can we find you online?
You can find me at davidalloydwriter.ca. I'm also on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or I'm not going to call it X, Twitter. pretty much everywhere else.
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
there. Just Google my name.
Sounds good. David, thank you again for joining me today.
My pleasure.
I'm sorry for bringing you inside on such a gorgeous day.
All right.
And I look forward to seeing you write some Star Trek in the future.
I hope so.
All right, we'll stick around because the show's not over yet, and we'll be right back. If you want to be a guest on the show, or you know someone that could potentially be a guest, I want you to reach out. Send a DM or a message. If you come into the shop, find Omar. He's the guy with the hat, and you find a phone number. I dare you. No, don't call anybody. Welcome back to By the Wayside. I'm, of course, your host, Jordan Middlebrook. We're doing things a little bit differently because we have one segment of a guest, two segment of a guest. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having 3 segments of a guest. But that guest, it's not a guest. It is a guest, but it's like a mainstay. I can hear him doing something back there. So this guest, you know what? I did it again, and I didn't. Okay, the mic is working, and I know that I turned on Omar's. Omar, is your mic on?
My mic is on, Jordan.
See, there we go. See, we're doing this. This is what's happening.
It's green.
Welcome to the next and first installment of Omar Recommends. That's right. He gets his own segment. Omar Recommends. Omar, while you're back there, you got a fun little comic book that we can talk about?
Certainly do.
I
We
love
got something for you.
I love this. You know, we say, do you have a comic book or something? And I pull it out.
All right.
The preparedness of the Omar Recommends segment. One of my favorite things now is when I say Omar Recommends and the graphic comes up. It says Omar Recommends. So Omar,
How are you doing, Jordan? How are you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
Good, good.
Awesome. So what do you got for us today?
So today I want to go with something really fun. This is a relatable young adult mystery comics.
Yep.
By one Fred Kennedy and Ricky Lima. This is just a whole hell of a lot of fun. If you don't laugh while reading this, you're dead inside. I think that's a pretty accurate depiction of this book. So the premise of relatable young adult mystery comics is Fred and Ricky took turns writing, I think about like 10, 12 pages of the book at a time. They didn't tell each other what they were writing. They just knew it was about a group of kids. I think that was everything that they knew. And yeah, it gets bonkers weird. It's just a whole hell of a lot of fun. Like I said, it's one of those books that you kind of come out of it and it reminds you just that kind of pure joy of comics, whether you used to draw them in class at school or you've ever just tried your hand at something or you just come up with like a stupid idea that's like a bad visual pun. It's all in here. Like the whole process of creating comics, like all that garbage you kind of throw out that you kind of doodle on a piece of paper, it's been made into a graphic novel. I think that's the best kind of way. It's that beautiful visual mental garbage that you normally just kind of toss aside, that you kind of have to get through to get to the good stuff. That's what this is, and it is fantastic. Anyone who's ever tried to write, draw, whatever, there is something to appreciate in this book.
When we did talk about this briefly before we did this episode, and I've read it. I have a copy of it, and one of my favorite villains of mostly any comic books is Old Man Jorts. The guy is just so good.
He's like the reformed Scooby-Doo villain wearing jorts with a van full of puppies.
I had at one time, not to pat myself on the back, but I did kickstart this, and I did the Jorts tier.
Nice. I didn't realize there was a jort.
There was a Jorts tier, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a picture. I put them on, and I remember Fred Kennedy had reached out and said, "What size is your waist?" So I know that I got a pair of jorts in the mail, and I know that I took at least one photo of me wearing the jorts. I'm going to have to find it because I know one exists, but I don't know where the jorts went. And if I had known that you were going to be recommending this, I would have really gone through all the clothes and been like, "Where's those jorts?"
It's okay, Jordan. I think we have a perfect opportunity here to promote the show. We have a calendar called Jordan and Jorts. 12 months of Jordan and Jorts.
I thought that was a secret. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so if you want to come to Wayside Comics and donate $20
To the Jorts Foundation.
to the Jorts Foundation, give it directly to Omar. Say that it is for the Jorts calendar, Jordan and Jorts calendar.
Yeah.
Wait till you see Jortuary. It's the greatest month. You won't regret it.
We'll even sell you the jorts afterwards for a premium.
And I don't wear underwear when I'm wearing the jorts. That's the gross part, or the best part, depending on how you look at it. This book, I am 100% on board with your recommendation.
It's so good. Honestly, sometimes you read books and you want that kind of intellectual fix. Sometimes you just want a fun comic book. This is, like I said, Fred said it best when I picked this up. Ricky Lima and Fred, amazing people. Fred's a great friend of the shop, but Fred said it best. He's like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever written. But he just looked like a kid flipping through it when I picked it up. We do have copies in the shop. They are signed by Ricky and Fred, and yeah, it's just fantastic. And again, Jordan and Jorts, make it happen, people.
Yeah,
make it happen.
Make it happen. Yeah. Don't listen to this guy. Hey, listen, stick around because we have one more little segment left where I say thank you to everybody because that's the way the new format of the show is. Again, thank you, Omar, for your amazing recommendation. Make sure you go and check this out, and we'll be right back.
Catch you by the wayside, or catch you in the jorts. Maybe.
Where's that belt? And that was an episode of By the Wayside. We're still laughing about the Omar recommends. Want to again thank Stephen Parker for the amazing opening. I want to thank my guests Heather and David. And I'm now thinking about creating my own shark trilogy. I don't know in which respect that's going to be, but we'll see. Anyway, catch you by the wayside. Look how tight these are. Oh my god, I am sucking in so much of my gut. That's my butt. Look at these jorts. These are the jorts that I got from the Kickstarter, from the Fred Kennedy, Ricky Lima Kickstarter. They're the exact same jorts. They barely fit. Jorts. 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 Okay, thanks. Get out of here.